Welcome back to Layers of Fear. I'm Rutskarn, and as usual, any non-diegetic creepy noises are courtesy of my lovely dog. Now, I've increased the brightness a little bit, and you should be seeing a difference in the two videos, the last one and this one. Now, this is perhaps a little bit brighter than is ideal for a player, but once it goes through YouTube compression, the shadows just become... Oh, right, that's where we were. Opening doors to disturbing paintings. And I will say it's actually a little bit goofy how this clearly is just actually a painting placed into the doorway. It's unsettling nonetheless, but oh, now I turn around and oh, yep, there's a smaller version on the wall behind me. Turn around again and I get my ass jump scared. Yep, that's where we left off last time. Okay, right back into the mix here. Now, as you recall, we are playing a sort of drunken, self-destructive asshole. We neglected our wife, then there was a fire where she was killed, apparently while performing. Beyond that, there's not a lot of details we picked up here. Now, interesting, we see that these paintings are splattered around with red and blue paint, which looks like maybe a fit of some kind by the artist, because those aren't actually colors involved, particularly in the paintings themselves, which you'd probably like just own rather than have done. So we're probably exploring some aspect of kind of the artist's self-destruction, perhaps mirrored by the destruction of the area around us. I think the fact that the house is starting to collapse around us and sort of fall apart here, which I don't know that it necessarily was in the real world, is evidence or indication that we're... Oh dear. Yeah, we're sort of seeing our world fall apart. I don't know if we're meant to be following a chronological narrative in kind of our sojourns into the portrait world, but I'd like to think that's the case. And let's see here. I hear the wind whistling. It's kind of a nice touch. There's actually not been a lot of outdoor noises here, but we're near a window, so it's kind of the perfect opportunity to have some creepy happen. That door just popped open. I'm going to just take a quick look around here. Is that a handbell? It's kind of an interesting assortment of stuff. It looks like luggage. I want to say that's cigars or something down there. A couple pewter mugs. Yeah, I can't really make anything of it particularly. And yep, shit's locked, as I expected. Open up the cupboards down here. I do appreciate that I'm able to explore the house. I don't know that it's necessarily encouraging me to do so. It's rare. That just happened by itself, but I believe it happened when I attempted to open the door, so it wasn't entirely outside my control. Oh, and shit's getting a little bit gloomy, but I can just light some candles. It's better to light a single candle than to curse the darkness, and even better to light 2 candles so you don't completely get your ass spooked. That's a pair of... Now, I think that may be intended to be just regular spectacles, and it's just the quirk of the light that's making them shaded, but we'll see. Actually, no, that could be supposed to be dark glasses. That would not be ahistorical for this time period, but it may suggest some kind of eye ailment? I don't know. Again, it's too hard to tell. There's a key, and the door's slammed shut, which is... okay, well, the lights just went off. I'm going to try to light these candles again. What the hell is that noise? Oh boy. And I hear somebody trying the door, which is... I wish they wouldn't, and now they're knocking. Oh, now they're knocking rather quite aggressively, and actually causing a little bit of a disturbance in the textures here. Oh, and yeah, we're just... Wall is just getting greasy like a potato chip bag. And the door is still mercifully locked. So let's look around here. April found his collection of empty bottles this morning. I reacted badly. I know it's hard for him too, but goddammit, he should know better. With a small child in the house, that's just irresponsible. Right, the kid! I don't know if we've entirely settled what happened to the kid here. It's also interesting that she's leaving a note in a room which is clearly not our shared bedroom. That's definitely indicating some marital strife here. Yeah, but this is clearly settled. There's like a book here, like there's a desk here with some notes and some writing, which none of which I can examine. That would indicate to me, yeah, that this is supposed to be like a room our wife used when she was mad at us, perhaps. Oh, and a streak of paint. I'm just gonna make a guess that the streak of paint motif refers to us, and in the sense that we're actually haunting the house. That would make most sense since we're the artist, and since it also matches our kind of smeared style. Oh! Boy.
This house is absolutely amazing.
I love haunted houses!
With that leg of mine, I think you'll have to carry me to the bedroom once we move in.
Now, I don't know, but I don't also think that sounded like our protagonist. Also, I've been assuming we don't walk with a cane, although that may correspond to the noise we heard earlier. I'd actually have to go back and check the footage. I'm not even addressing the ram skull here. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't think that's us, although I did notice that we've been limping a little bit lately, so maybe that is somehow related. It's a good question. Maybe I'll go back and notice some indication that our character is intended to walk with a limp, but maybe there's more ghosts here than us after all. Turns out all this is completely unrelated to my personal tragedy. It's just, the place is just regular haunted. You know, just garden variety haunted. Open up the door here. Get on the floor here. Everybody walk the dinosaur here. And I think I have the option of turning on some lamps. Yeah, let's just run up the power bill. Why not? I'm not gonna survive anyway, so... Okay, now I believe this is actually the master bedroom for earlier, but I don't recall the gramophone being so centrally placed. That sets me off here, and obviously I can turn the handle here. Oh, but why would I do that without first placing the record? And... is this the volume? I don't actually know how gramophones work. I've never had the pleasure. I'm sure somebody would tell me that's the only way to listen to music, and that it's all been downhill since, you know, I don't know, 1950. Once again, looking at the bureau here. That's new. Prosthesis, snatchers, why the damn lag, insatiable bastards. Okay, so this resembles an art style, which I think our character has used, or somebody's used. We've seen that for the rats. So it could be that our character does have a prosthetic leg, and I've just, you know, would have expected... Let me listen really closely to the sound of my footsteps here. It does sound a little bit uneven, doesn't it? Okay, well, again, I'm going to have to keep paying attention. Alright, let's turn the evil crank. Oh, this is annoying. I have to actually move the mouse kind of in a sawing movement. Oh, that's a cool effect. Look at that. The actual physical objects are warping like the paintings. Oh, and it's staying that way so I can admire it. That's actually... Okay, so I was actually about to say that, yeah, the whole place is melted. I was going to say that the creepy effects of the walls, yeah, and there's like splashes, so there's like wet paint. I was going to say that the effect of the walls getting dark wasn't actually scaring me, but in this context, it is nicely atmospheric.
And a plastic tubing. I siphoned gas before. I knew how it was done.
Ugh.
I stuck the tube in a vein and sucked on it until blood filled my mouth. Then put the tube in the jar and it just kept coming. A taste of copper haunted me the entire night. Why didn't I think of a syringe?
Because that would take fucking forever. But also, okay, it's fairly clear to me that what's happening is after all this personal tragedy, my character, using skin of flesh and ink of his own blood, has been working on special art projects. Which, let me take a look at... Oh, it's gone. Do I have some kind of journal? If I do, I'd have to go search for it a little more thoroughly. You notice how the textures here are less complicated now that it's kind of melty ink? Oh.
Honey, what in the world are you doing? What did the doctor say about straining yourself? Leave that thing alone. It's not going anywhere.
Okay, yeah, so like the multiple voice... That was interesting. Did it seem a touch brighter? No. No, surely not. I'm gonna try to exit here, but yeah, I think what actually is gonna happen is I'm gonna have to play the gramophone again to reverse this place to the way it was. Oh, right, yeah, there's this which goes, like, forwards and which goes in reverse. So I may have actually solved the puzzle there. But yeah, you have to move the mouse in a sawing motion here to get the handle to turn, which is actually really obnoxious. Okay, well, I'm an idiot. I'll be totally honest, because I'm pressed for time here, I just checked the internet, but it turns out there's a switch on the back of the gramophone, which I was too inobservant to notice. I think that there's probably something to be said for, like, the design of this gramophone encouraging you to only really look at it from one angle, but also, I really should have been more persistent in checking the environment for clues. And now we play the music right-wise.
Stumbling here and there, stumbling everywhere, and I must declare, I stepped on her toes, and when she bumped my nose,
yeah, that's a very impressive effect. I think especially if it's in shadow a little bit, it's gonna be really effective at setting the scene of kind of a disturbed area. Now, I wonder if I'm gonna hit with a jump scare like immediately after that, which I think would make sense because it's kind of a lull puzzle segment, but apparently they're letting me... Oh, we're returning to the studio here, which traditionally that's been a time to recuperate and a time to re-examine. So one thing we're definitely going to be doing here, we're going to check all of the normal stuff. Gonna check our photo album here, make sure there's nothing new in it. Nope, that's the baby book. Right, like a... It feels like a... Oh, no, I found that too. I bet a lot of these notes are optional, because it seems from the way this is laid out like I just haven't found some. Yep, tortured artist nonsense has had to stop. I can't even remember if I've read that one yet. It just seems like the sort of thing I should be telling him a lot. Oh, and here I'm collecting, yes, the art I've discovered. This seems like this could be blood ink here. I'm not sure that this is a tapestry of flesh, however.
Oh, stop looking at me like that. It's just a little something to help me focus on my work, that's all.
Some liquid courage for your grand art opening. Oh, is that how it began, huh? Anyhow, I actually want to rescind what I said earlier about using my own blood. I forget whether he said anything at the time, but it actually seems entirely plausible that rather than it being a matter of his own blood, he's actually just been taking it from others, because he's clearly not using his own skin as the canvas, now that I think of it. That would require him to just die. Unless he had skin grafts extremely ready. That was the thing earlier, though, wasn't it? Skin grafts. Oh, so I think the red blood vial is what I'm using here to continue my masterpiece. Yep, this is opened up. Oh, and I've already discovered that. I needed a jar and plastic tubing. I siphoned gas before I knew I was done. I stuck the tube in a vein and sucked on it until blood filled my mouth. Then put the tube in a jar and it just kept coming. Taste of copper haunted me the entire night. Why didn't I think of a syringe? So the one thing is, I stuck the tube in a vein. I guess, yeah, that is neutral as regards whether it's him or somebody else. But again, I'm liking that there's kind of a metric for our progression through the horrible truth here. It's almost like an advent calendar of terror, but it's sort of keeping us on track, because this game, it has no physical layout that's logical and consistent. So in a sense, it almost needs a story layout that's logical and consistent. Otherwise, I have no idea where this is going or how it's ramping up. It's just creepy shit the whole way through. Alright, beautiful flowers, which somebody's clearly taken care of, but one of the doors is locked and chained off, which also seems very non-literal. Rodent seeds, rotten soil, and nothing else grows. I see the dirt move. Lots to unpack there. I'm gonna hold off a little bit, though, because I really want to see what's going on with the rats here. Is it just that, like, his lifestyle is growing nothing? No. That was actually just goofy. His lifestyle is growing nothing that lives or is vibrant. It's just creating decay, which is attracting rats. That would be how I would read that, is just that the rotten soil is attracting vermin, but no actual color or beauty. But then it's contrasted with an actual, like, flower right next to it, which is covering up the note. I don't know. Let's hang on here and see where this goes. I don't want to get too English classy on it, because that's such a specific and youthful portrait, and it's done in kind of a quasi-modern style, I would say, that I have an odd suspicion that this is intended to be us. That was just my immediate thought looking at it. We'll see. And the door is closed behind me, which is always cheerful and welcoming. Wife is being driven away from us, and our muse is locked shut. Remember, her playing the piano was our muse, so this is indicating sort of an end to our creative inspirations. Oh, and it's gotten terribly dark here to the point where I doubt you can see much. I really can't see anything either. Oh, and we take a few steps forward, and there's kind of a sickly light which is filtering through here, kind of a moonlight. Open up the wardrobes here. It's not tiresome when I stop to open all those cabinets. I always think I might find something inside, even though that often really is not the case. Although when it has been the case, it's been a plot item I've needed to progress, so... Creator's block! Well, this is just a little on the nose, isn't it? The creator's block is just literally boards and chains and bricks keeping me from going forward. Well, who's ready to get our assholes spooked out of our bodies? Let's go. Oh. I wonder if it's a coincidence that I backed towards the wall that opened to reveal passage forward, or if it actually does, like, deliberately make it be in the direction you're not looking. I mean, the rest of the room is pretty straightforward. There's no reason to keep my thinking locked to the Unreal era of level design. Again, I fear there's not much you can see here. There's not a whole lot to see from my perspective either. Oh, wow. That was a brilliant transition. That was really good. Did you see that? Yeah, I was looking through the window, and now it sort of almost seamlessly provided elements over here, and then when I looked, and then the window's gone. That's one thing this game is very good at, is environmental alterations. Very, very clever stuff. Calendar, a day marked new moon, don't forget. Well, that's eerie. I would go as far as to say ghastly. June, don't forget. Well, I'm pretty sure it's not that he's supposed to forget it's June, unless he really is lost in a creative funk here. I actually had just a little bit of difficulty closing the thing. And yeah, I think those are just supposed to be dusty spectacles. They look dark because of the dust, not because they're actually shaded lenses. Okay. There's been enough portraits sort of changing when I'm not looking that I'm starting to get paranoid here about things. Whoa! That was startling. Not actually very scary, but startling. Let's see if it happens again. No, it would be a pretty weak trick to try it twice in a row, although it'd certainly score a point in terms of dramatic utility. Okay, September 15th, more notes today, even worse than before. The sad point is I agree with every word. Oh, shit. Okay, so September, that's after June. I'm guessing this is just a progression of us, like, going from trying to hold on to really doing a bad job of remaining connected with our partner. I think that's what I think the piano's really supposed to bring that home here. Is that this is the period of us driving our partner away. Now, I will say that I'm liking the symbolism on display here, but also we're hitting a couple points pretty heavily. And also, none of the symbolism is strictly necessary to tell the story, since it's already been told by the context of the notes. So I kind of hope that this is going somewhere else, because apparently we're 2/6 of the way through our character's main progression. Giant-ass dominoes. Can't read that, although it really looks like the sort of thing I should be reading. Okay, just ransacking my house for no reason, apparently. I'm pretty sure this is locked, so... Okay, well, I'm gonna come back to that then. Alright, yeah, we have a little book-a-lanch here. Not really sure what to make of that just yet. And... this is also unlocked, but it also looks like it might be a dead end. Oh, very much so! Possibly in more ways than one! Yeah, this is a little... You hear ingrates, cretins, blind fools, simple things. Yeah, that's what I think whenever I write my Let's Plays about hobbits farting or whatever. Oh, what does that say there? Bryce is alone? I don't know. Let me, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't read that. It looks like it might say Bryce is alone, but I feel like...
Ugly? You ordered a true portrait, so that's where I painted, you fucking pleb. Maybe I need to kick some artistic sense into your stupid face!
Well, it appears they were dark glasses after all. Which, you know, one actual reason why you would need to wear those kinds of glasses is because you're getting a macular degeneration of the sort that comes with solitary confinement. So maybe that's just like our character's locked inside all day, so now we've got shitty eyes. And also that's why our painting style has changed so abruptly. That's actually, that's a real thing. You can look that up, sort of as some painters go through ocular degeneration of some kind, or start seeing colors differently. Their art style transforms into something which, often historically, would be kind of radical. And some painters, I want to say Matisse, like what you think of as being their signature style is, at least in some part, clearly a product of some way in which they've become more unfocused, or which they've started losing some of their color distinctions. Let's see. Yeah, don't hold me to Matisse there. That's just the name I'm dredging up. I am not an art historian. It's for you. Okay, that noise is somewhat annoying. It's stuck in my right ear here. I'm just gonna... Oop. God damn it! I was just about to say I'm gonna skip this because I want to stop hearing the noise, but... okay. So, let's go through this here. If I'm to be entirely honest, I can't say your letter was unexpected. Numerous colleagues have informed me that you previously sought their advice in the matter. I would think 16 concurring opinions would be enough. Out of respect for you and your wife, I've examined the rest of the case thoroughly. I have to concur with my colleagues. Involuntary muscle spasms are not uncommon with patients who've suffered burns as severe as your wife did. What you refer to as a freakish grin or unnerving yelp, though many would find such expressions hurtful, could indeed be manifestations of nerve damage. The other symptoms you mentioned do not seem to be physiological, but rather psychological in nature. Traumatic events could lead to severe stress, and that is nothing to be ashamed of. As to your demand that we fix your wife, you have to understand that what she went through cannot be undone with one simple procedure. Another fucking quack. Okay, so, two things before we take one more step forward. Number one, our wife did not die in the fire and then need skin grafts and just, like, pass away in a hospital. She kept living, and maybe that's why we kept ignoring her. Number two, she is definitely going to be a jump-scary monster that tries to kill us. Because that was a description of a jump-scary monster, and as much as it's like, some would find these descriptions hurtful, you know it's gonna cash in on the freakish potential of having a wife who, you know, like, has nervous tics and disturbed facial features. As much as it's trying to be sensitive and depicting that, yeah, sometimes, you know, people just... like, that they look a little weird, and that they do stuff, you know, no need to make a freak show out of it. They're about to make a freak show out of it, because that's what horror games just do, reflexively. You know, I guess you can argue that it's indicative of our character's perspective, but I'm still a little bit, like, side-eyeing that, to be totally honest with you. Oh. Can we finally answer the telephone? No, we can't! Well, son of a bitch! Alright, what's in here? Another fucking quack. Yep, another fucking quack. Wow, we just gotta do loops here. Is it trying to lull me into a false sense of security so it can jump scare me with the creepy lady? Oh, no, there's the telephone again. I think that may actually be a phone ringing in reverse, so let's turn around and back up here. Yeah, did you actually hear that happen? Did you hear, like, the moment where the sound clip changed? Oh, and then the phone fell off, which would make sense.
Yes, speak.
Oh, boy. I'll be honest, my heart is ready for a big, fat jump scare. Fuck me, fuck me, fuck me.
Yes, speak.
Just think of that stupid note that I wrote to that to that ugly patient. Just think of that and let that sort of be my strength, my shield and armor in this moment of terror. Oh boy, this is gonna be bad.